What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about utilizing a negative step to improve change of direction sprint speed. So before we get into it, if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure you're subscribed to catch all of them. Hope you enjoy. All right, so for a long time, there's been this thought that when we're changing direction, specifically a linear change of direction, going from a back pedal to a sprint, we don't want a negative step, right? Or if I'm here, I don't want a negative step to then go forward. I want to be able, if I'm going backwards, right, push out of it, not here, load and then go. Or if I'm here, I want to be able just to drive and go. However, if we can learn to utilize a negative step, it is way faster than the alternative. And here's the deal. When we're using this negative step, it is simple physics, right? In order to go in a direction, you have to apply equal and opposite force, right? So if I want to propel myself forward, by driving this way, I can apply that force into the ground. I can get into a good shin angle, so my force becomes horizontal and pushes me forward. It's a lot easier to get into that position, to get into a good shin angle so I can drive and go. Or if I'm coming from a stand, right, if I take that step, it puts me in that shin angle. The big thing here, because I know people are going to talk about injuries, right, like an Achilles or a calf or something like that, and the key for making that negative step faster and more efficient is we have to have a stiff ankle, right? If I come here and if I let my heel collapse, that's when we're gonna run into problems, okay? So in this state right here, I'm lengthened with my foot behind my hip. If I let my heel collapse, then I'm really lengthened and I'm not in an advantageous position. So this is actually not really going to help me. Keeping that foot stiff, right, that ankle stiff, I'm here, I'm just like kicking back. So nothing is really too far stretched, right? If I'm doing something and I put my foot here, it's fine if I have a collapsed heel if I go, right? It's not gonna be as efficient, but if my heel collapses here, it's a lot safer because it's directly under my hip. But the minute I'm in this elongated state, I have to keep that foot stiff so it can propel me out. So the way we train this, we do a lot of plyometrics, right? Work on improving stiffness through the foot, through the ankle, work on building up that spring through the Achilles, our tendon, right? Muscles as well. So that as I put force into the ground, I become really efficient at utilizing that energy stored and I'm strong. So I don't let that dissipate. I can put force in, put myself in an advantageous position so I can get out. Often when we practice eliminating that negative step, you can practice it like a million times a day. And it is just an innate ability of athletes that we just tend to do. No matter how hard we try, we tend to just go to a negative step. Now, I will say, one thing that I will often correct with a negative step, especially with our athletes as we're enhancing those abilities, is when people do that negative step, they come here, often they collapse the heel and they pop their torso up, right? So that's not gonna help you whatsoever. If we're taking that negative step right here, boom, it has to put me there. So it's actually gonna benefit me. But if I'm here, that's gonna slow you way down. So that's something we don't want to get to. So like I said, we hit some plyometrics, we work on exercises where that foot is behind the hip, where we can learn to tolerate. One example of an exercise, it's what we call Achilles pops, right? So let me clear this area. We're gonna put one foot on a box, right? This back leg, notice how it's behind my hip, right? So we set it up behind the hip. I'm right here, but I'm popping this way. So I'm working on that ability, sorry, I had to move my necklace, working on that ability to drive with it behind my hip so it can absorb and tolerate that force. Doing things like that is going to help you out a lot. So just wanted to give you guys some helpful advice when we are trying to enhance that ability to be quicker, to change directions faster. Don't worry too much about that negative step. I think it's way faster actually. It's easier for these athletes to do. You just want to make sure you're doing it correctly in a way that actually helps. So hopefully you enjoy this. Please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe. Let us know in the comments other questions you have. If you like these types of videos where we just talk about a specific thing, hit us with your questions and we'll get them answered for you. So we'll see you in the next one.